Well, here we are back again looking at some hard drives, so let's get to trying them out. So I've got 9 hard drives that I recently got delivered today. I get another pile of vintage discs, and I'm still looking for some hard drives for stuff. And we can see they've all been labeled with various conditions, mostly saying they're okay. One here says it's got a click of death, and potentially there's another one here, this Seagate Medalist, that also has a click of death, potentially. 7 of these drives are parallel ATA, and 2 of them are serial ATA. So let's see what we have here. So we have 2 Western Digital Caviar drives. This is a 100 gigabyte drive, and this is a 10 gigabyte drive, though again, the one that says there's a click of death. There's 2 10 gigabyte Seagate U Series drives here, and then we have 2 Seagate Barracuda drives here. One is a 1 terabyte drive, which is one of the serial ATA drives, and the other is an 80 gigabyte parallel ATA. Over here is a 41 gigabyte Hitachi Deskstar. Again, as I mentioned earlier, there's the Seagate Medialist 8641 drive here that apparently I guess was used in the Mac computer because it says Mac OS X on there. And then we have a little 120 gigabyte serial ATA Western Digital Scorpio drive, 2.5 inch. So I've got my trusty little power supply off to the side here, and we will plug the drives in, see if they spin up, if they pass their initial seek test, and then if there's any problems with that afterwards. We will not be connecting them up to a computer in this video. We're just doing a preliminary power-up diagnosis. So I got a space here on top of this package bill. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this Western Digital 100 gig drive. Let me take this rubber band and card off. And our power supply is on already. So I'm simply going to go ahead and plug the supply in and see how this drive sounds. Okay, you heard it power up, and it did a seek test. So I'd assume this drive is probably okay. I'm going to let it spin down, and we're going to power it back up to make sure that nothing changes from shipping it. Just powering it on the first time. Okay, that looks pretty good. So that drive is probably okay, as is indicated on the little paper sheet. So let's try this other one, this 10 gigabyte, which they say has the click of death. So let's see if this 10 gigabyte indeed does clack, clack, clack on us. Yeah, I'd say that's definitely got the click of death. So this drive we might open up and investigate later on, see if we could potentially get it operating, but I don't have high hopes. Yeah, so that definitely has the click of death, indicating most likely a head failure of some kind. So we'll move on to the first of these Seagate U Series drives. Let me pull this band off. This one says it's okay, so let's see if that holds up. Here, power connector, plug it in. Okay, spun up pretty quick. Did a seek test. Let's power down and power back up. Okay. So it looks like that one is okay. Let's try this other U Series drive, which they also say is okay. Yeah, these drives got shipped in a box full of paper shreddings, which is really nice because that always makes a nice mess when you open the box up and then try to get the individual drives out, not trying to spill all these paper shavings. Anyway, let's plug this in and test this one. Okay, that drive sounds good. It's spun up into the seek test. And it sounds just like the other one, so that's also a good sign. Alright, see that drive is in operating order. Now let's move on to the Hitachi Deskstar. 41 gigabytes. See. Sure has a lot of configurations on it, but this should be IDE. This should be good. It looks like it works. It definitely has a loud clunk when it initializes. That's just probably characteristic of the drive. See, that one's probably okay. Now this Medialist one says it's interesting. This says it has the click of death, but it also runs vertically, which I guess we'll figure out what they mean by that. So this is potentially a drive that, like that Western Digital 10 gig Caviar, does not work, but maybe it'll work in a different orientation. Okay, it probably is not working because I can hear the head kind of. The head is trying to seek in there. It's not particularly a click of death, but it is trying to read. Power it off. Well, it did say something about running vertically. Let me see if there really is any difference to it operating vertically. No way. It performed its seek test and it's running vertically. Okay, that is an interesting case. It won't run horizontally, but it will run vertically. Let's do this one more time, just for the sake of it. Okay, I'm going to lower the drive horizontally. Okay, nothing changed. Let's do it once more with the drive horizontally. Okay, see, it behaved that time. So this drive is kind of, I guess we'll say 50-50 on the ability to work or not. So that's going to do some investigating, but right now it looks like it might work. But it does seem to have something going on with the drive behavior. So that's a serial ATA, so we'll save those two for last since I'll need a power adapter. So let's look at this 80 gigabyte Barracuda drive. Now, unlike last time, I don't have any SCSI drives in this lot. Even though I do actually have a SCSI card now I could actually test the drives with. Before I did not, but no, I don't have any SCSI drives this time. I have that powered up and self-tested just fine. Okay, so that drive is good. So far, only that Western Digital Caviar 10 gigabyte drive for sure is not usable. That Medialist one is about 50-50. Everybody else looks like it's testing okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get a serial ATA power adapter so we can do those other two drives. Alright, so I got my serial ATA Y adapter. So let's start with this 1 terabyte Barracuda. They say it seems okay, so we will test that out. Plug it in here. Okay, looks like it powered up fine. And I do have another Seagate 1 terabyte Barracuda drive just like this. So I know how they're supposed to sound powering up and doing their seek test. This one looks like it's doing it just fine. Yeah, so I say that's probably just fine. So there's only one drive left to test, and that's this little 2.5 inch Western Digital Scorpio. So aim it this way, and we'll plug in the power. Yeah, powered up. And seeked fine. I don't notice any odd clicking or anything like that. Sounds like it's just fine to me. So, out of our initial 9 drives, we have a pile of 8 here that looks like they are working just fine. And then we have this one 10 gigabyte Western Digital Caviar, which has the click of death. And maybe we can get it working by opening it up and investigating it a little bit, but this is probably not going to do any good. But for 8 drives that are working that I paid about $26 for to get, you know, 26 bucks for that is not too bad for what we got that's working here. Hey guys, Brian here. Do me a favor and click that like button down below, and while you're at it, go ahead and click the subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new content when I post it. See you guys in the next one.